everybody. Welcome back to the Coffee Breath Podcast. My name is Taylor. Hope that you find that you're doing well today. I can't complain. I'm doing pretty well. It's just another day in 2020. You know, what the fuck next is going to happen? What next story is going to break? What are we all going to be like, oh my God, what the fuck is happening about next? You know, hopefully these incidents and these events kind of spread out a little bit further away from one another, because it just kind of feels like each week it's something new. 2020 keeping us on our toes, you know. If we thought life was boring before, well, it's 2020 is the action movie of the decade. So hang on, because it's a fucking wild ride. But before I get into more like lighter notes of what's going on in my life and fun activities that I was able to do, there's just something that I feel that I need to talk about, especially because I'm sitting here alone in the house. I just watched a like breaking news update. Another YouTuber named Erin Gilfoy. If you are unfamiliar, let me spread some knowledge on you. I feel like we can all kind of learn from what's going on. So, getting into that, Erin Gilfoy, she is a YouTuber. She's well known for being part of the Vlog Squad, which is, you know, David Dobrik. He's a huge well-known YouTuber. She's part of his squad. She's also 50% of Carly and Erin, which she shares a YouTube channel with her friend Carly. But then she also has her own channel, and I was just scrolling through my YouTube feed, and I saw that she had posted what looked like, you know, one of those typical apology videos where she's got like no makeup on, up very close to the camera, you know, like, again, not dolled up, because, you know, if you're doing an apology video, like, try not to make it seem like it's like a PR stunt, you know? It should seem like it's like raw and filtered, uncensored. And she's just, so I clicked on it. It was called Addressing My Past. And I was like, oh, fuck, like, what's this about? So she goes into saying that recently a video came out of her, and let me preface this for you, without her consent. Without consent. A video of like roughly 10 years ago came out of her completely nude, like front, back, top, bottom, sides, everything. I haven't watched it, and I will not watch it, and you should not watch it. Nobody should watch it. But again, it was like 10 years ago, roughly 10 years ago, came out, and she's singing and dancing, and she says a racial slur, which is not, you know, that's not okay. And I'm not trying to say like, oh, well, she was nude and this was leaked and, you know, against her consent. And I'm not trying to justify her saying a racial slur, because that is not right. And that's, you know, look at me. That's not my apology to accept at all whatsoever. So, you know, I can't really speak on that. Again, that was wrong, and nothing justifies that. But here's the thing with this leaked video is that people on the internet are trying to justify this leaked, unconsented video of her. Like, oh, well, you know, we need to expose these people, and we need to cancel them, and, you know, make them pay for what they did. And, you know, and she's apologizing. Again, it's not my apology to accept. So again, I can't say on that matter. I did watch a few videos of some Black women expressing, you know, they watched the video, or they didn't watch her video, but they heard about the video, and, you know, them personally, not saying that everybody should, but like them personally as Black women, they did accept her apology, and they felt like she wasn't coming out of a malicious state when she said the racial slur. I'm not sure what she actually said. Again, I'm not going to watch the video. I don't want to. That is an invasion of such personal privacy. And as someone who has been sexually harassed, sexually assaulted, sexually abused throughout their life, fuck, dude, my heart breaks on that aspect. Again, not the racial slur part, but just the aspect of she had no idea that was even being filmed. And then, like, I think she said a year ago, somebody, came to her and they were blackmailing her, saying, if you don't meet our demands, we will release this video. And she didn't meet their demands, and she wasn't about that. So then they did release it. And, I don't know all the details on that, but just from her video that I randomly found on YouTube, I got to hear her side of the story. And again, it fucking breaks my heart. And the fact that there are people on the internet, like it's like a big group of people on the internet are trying to justify and saying like, oh, well, that she gets what she deserves. Or like, oh, well, then she should have been dancing around naked and saying racial slurs. It's like, no, somebody shouldn't have been filming her without her consent. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So I feel like we can all take from that is owning up for when you do, if you have made a mistake in your past. It was beautiful to see her own up to that. I think that that's something that we all need to do, is hold ourselves accountable for the past, the present, and, moving in towards the future. But yeah, hopefully we can all take away from this is like revenge porn is terrible. And nobody deserves that. Male, female, I guess that's binary. So like non-binary, whatever you identify as, no one should ever have that happen to them. Ever. And I needed to talk about it, because or else I was going to have to call my mom, and then I was, then that would become a whole thing, and I don't know what she's doing. I don't want to like ruin her day. So here I am on my platform, my tiny little platform. Here I am, and I'm talking to you about it because this is something that it's crawling under my skin. And I hope that it's crawling under your skin. We're all at different levels and stuff. So hopefully you just feel a little itch at least. But if you feel nothing, like, fuck, dude. And this happens to so many people. So many people. And just the average person. I haven't been on porn sites, and I say like I'm a boomer, like porno sites. But I haven't watched porn in a very, very long time, because I just can't anymore. There's so many reasons. A lot of it has to do with like sexual trafficking and human trafficking and the degrading of women and just all of that kind of shit. But I've come across just on the main fucking page, like I didn't fucking search this shit, but like a big thing is like guys just taking videos of when they're hooking up with girls at like parties, at like college parties or something. And it's disgusting. And I know that nobody wants to fucking talk about it. I know that you didn't come here to sit down and to be like dump some heavy shit and to hear all of this today. And I get that. And I'm sorry, but at the same time, there's so much shit going on in our world that like, let's stop just turning a blind eye and let's just start having these difficult conversations. Is that okay? Would that be okay? And if you're down with that, then thank you. And, pull up a seat, chill out. Here's a cup of coffee. Here's a glass of wine, like whatever. And we can have those conversations. And I promise that it's not always going to be heavy in this podcast, but there's just, we gotta shed some light on some darkness, because there's some fucking darkness going on in this world. Like, I always fuck up her name, but Epstein's girl, she's on suicide watch now, and it's like, bitch, please, if you think Epstein killed himself, like, fuck off. Of course nobody wants the shit to get leaked and to get out, because then that's gonna put all of our, like, politicians, all of our elites, and all of our powerful people, you know, they're all gonna be outed as fucking pedophiles and perverts, and, you know. But no, let's not talk about that. Let's just talk about, like, Kanye running for fucking president. Bitch, Kanye? I understand that everybody wanted, like, a change when it came to Donald Trump. They're like, oh, well, he's not a politician. He's a businessman. It's different. He's one of us. Yeah, please. Totally one of us. With his millions upon millions and his millions, right? And all of his bankruptcies and failed businesses. Right. Fuck. Where was I going? I was going down a dark path. So let's back it up a little bit. We made some s'mores over the fire. We burned some shit. And now we're just kind of watching. We're not just dumping water out on the fire, but we're just kind of letting that fire simmer out a little bit. You know, we're not adding any more wood. We're not going to be, like, poking it around. We're just going to let it sit. And the embers will gently fade out. And I will calm the fuck down. But I'm sorry. I've just been so fucking pissed off lately. I'm just so pissed off lately. Like, everything that's happening in the world, like, it's gotten to me for, you know, the 31 years that I've been on this planet. But just really now, I'm just this big ball of rage, and I just can't sit idly by anymore and just be like, oh, you know, I just wish that life would go back to normal, back when we get to go, like, have brunch with our friends and go to the mall. Things that I hated doing in the first place. No, getting brunch is different. I just don't like crowds. I don't like, no, malls, fuck that. Shopping online, I've been doing that from the get-go, so I'm good on that. All right. Well, backing that ass up. Your bitch. Why do I keep saying that? I really need to chill out on that. And I don't want anyone, especially other females, to be like, she says bitch a lot. Like, she's calling us bitches. She calls herself a bitch. Like, I'm just a very uneducated female millennial that thinks it's, you know, that, like, really bad Amy Schumer humor. Am I? Okay. But yeah, I need to work on that. I need to, like, up my vocabulary, you know, my repertoire or whatever. I'm not even making sense. I'm starting to do that thing where I start to black out because I'm like, oh shit, what am I even talking about now? But I have an iPad. Your girl, she got an iPad, and I feel like I'm in the 21st century now. I feel like I have a giant phone, or I feel like I'm in, like, Xenon Girl of the 21st Century, like Zetus Lapidus. Does anybody remember that? God, I fucking loved that movie. And Raven was in it. And, you know, it was so good. So good. Also, Raven just got married. So congratulations, girl. You guys looked beautiful. But now I have notes on my iPad. So your girl, not your bitch, your girl can keep herself on one path and not on 5,000 paths that I normally like to go on. All right, so let's see. Check that off my list. Check this off my list. So on a little lighter note, on the second half of this episode, I just want to talk about, I went supping. Is that what you say? Supping? Sup-boarding? Stand-up paddle boarding? I'm like a sup girl. I'm like one of those, you know? You can just, like, catch me out on the river. Just floating. You know? Oh God, I'm so cringe. All right, I need to get a better prescription for my eyes because I can't fucking see, or I'm just getting that old where I have to start holding shit up farther away from me. So yeah, I did a stand-up paddleboard, and my friends and my boyfriend, they did kayaks. It was just a little group of 4 of us, super small. already people that I've been seeing, in my collective group. So don't worry. We were like social distancing as the best that we could. But we're from like the south suburbs of Chicago. So we just took a little trip all the way up through Indiana up into Michigan, and we went to Benton Harbor. There's what are they called? Third Coast Paddling Company. They were pretty good. It was like $20 an hour to rent. We did 4 hours, and they said it's about like 2 hours on the Paw Paw River. So I had a lot of fun. The water wasn't what I was expecting. It's very calm. So, calm water, it sits, and then like shit likes to grow, and then it kind of just like sits and grows, and then it's gross and stuff. But I thought the river would be a little bit more interesting than just going to the beach, especially because I was like, I'm not about to float my ass out into the middle of the fucking lake and then not be able to come back. So we'll go on the river. Again, it was like 2 hours. It was super calm, so you just go up the river, and then you turn around, and you just come back down to your original place that you started. It was beautiful scenery, a lot of cute little like Michigan lake houses to look at. I love doing that shit, like Property Brothers or like any HGTV home improvement kind of show. I always watched that with my mom growing up. So anytime like I'm driving around or anytime I'm out, I'm always looking at homes like, oh, I love that porch. Or like, oh, you know what, I would do this a little bit differently. But, I feel like a lot of people do that. So I got to, I'm just floating down the river doing that. And then it was like 30 minutes into our trip. There's a little place that you can just kind of like maneuver, like maneuver yourselves off of the lake and park your boats or like, park your equipment off. And then it was like just a real short walk down to North Pier Brewery. North Pier Brewery in Benton Harbor, Michigan. And it was a good place. Lunch was really good. I had some tacos. They were legit. And then I had some good beers. And then we got some to-go beers to get back into the kayaks with. And like, we didn't drink. We did not drink on the river whatsoever. Only water. Come on. We had to stay hydrated. It was only water in those cups. But yeah, no, we had fun. And we even, my roommate and friend Basham, he even like scooped up some floating garbage. It was like a aerosol spray, like a dry shampoo aerosol spray bottle that was just, littered and polluted in the river. So he scooped that up, put that in his kayak. I was like, good job, Bash. Karma points for you, buddy. But yeah, no, we had so much fun, and it felt so good to do something different. Because let's face it, if you haven't been like an essential worker and going to work during this whole pandemic, like obviously if you were, then your life is not boring whatsoever. But for the most part, all of us just kind of sitting at home, waiting for this shit to end, saving lives by staying home. It's fucking boring, and you're doing the same shit. Yeah, I can go outside or I can go on a hike around here, but it's just not the same. And I felt like, let's just do a little day trip, go and have some fun, be out in the sun, because when you're out in the sun, that can help like reduce your risk of getting the virus. And we're able to social distance, we were able to be out in nature, fresh or like somewhat fresh water, fresh air. And, we're all separate in our kayaks and shit. So you're not even by anybody. And we weren't even really passing by anybody else. Like at moments we would pass by other people. But for the most part, we were out there by ourselves. And then, all the equipment that the other people are touching, the staff getting all ready for us, that's all out in the sun. So that's killing off the germs, virus, and everything. And you just wear your mask when you're in the restaurant. And then you sit at your table, you take your mask off. I don't understand why people find it so difficult to wear a mask in public. Please wear a mask in public. But I guess the whole point of why I'm telling you about this is because I had fun and I want to boast and I want to tell you that I had a good time because it makes me feel good. Because my life is most of the time very depressing and most of the time I'm very unhappy. So when I can do things, especially out in nature, it just, it gives you those good chemicals, those endorphins, and you feel good. But just know that, like, you can go out and you can do stuff. No, don't go to the mall. No, you probably don't want to go to the gym right now. Dude, I got a full body workout. I'm telling you, a full body workout on that stand-up paddleboard. And if you're like, oh, I can't do that, you try it. Just try it. And I was able to sit down on it and paddle or just chill there. I was able to kneel and paddle or just chill there. I was able to lie down. I did some yoga on it. I was able to stand. Dude, I could do whatever the fuck I wanted to. When you're in a kayak, you're a little limited. But do whatever you need to do. Just get on a bike. Go for a nice bike ride through a trail. But again, when you're around other people, wear your mask. But don't think that you still have to be stuck at home. No, you can still go out and do things. And we're not going to be going back to normal. So let's just create our new normal. And let's just create like a better normal, if that even makes sense. All right, let's get into the tarot. Getting into the tarot. Because I feel like I'm really, really needing to see some stuff right now. I'm needing some guidance because if you didn't listen to my last two podcasts, well, then you don't know. I can get a little rage within me. I can get a little opinionated. And I feel like I need to calm down a little bit more, find a little bit more peace within myself. So I'm going to cut the deck into 3, placing it back into 1. I'm going to get that top card, and let's see what it is today. Daughter of Swords. All right, so what is the Daughter of Swords? Swords, I know, are the suit of, like, action. So we have Daughter of Swords, honest, insightful. She is a young woman whose honesty and insights take her far in life. People truly value her frankness. She learns from keen observation. It almost seems as though she never stops watching. Sometimes this becomes a burden for her, as she can't help noticing this or that small detail that could have been done better. There's a potential for her to hold on to those experiences and become spiteful and judgmental. Well, holy dude. Okay, that is spot on. That's what I feel like. I feel like I have this, like I have my own depression from like maybe it's my own chemical imbalance in my brain, and maybe it's definitely also from childhood and adulthood traumas. But then also I feel like I have this like collective depression. And it's like the way that the world is, and it just makes it so hard for me to want to like stay here because it's just like, what the fuck are we doing? And I just want to cry it all the time, or I just get so angry, and then I just see people caring more about getting like their hair and nails done, and I'm like, wow, there's people dying though. And also there's a humanitarian crisis in Yemen. And also black people are literally being killed and slaughtered in the streets just because of the amount of melanin that's in their skin. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing? And yeah, I get a little judgmental. And by a little, a lot. I get fucking judgmental. And that's something that my mom and my boyfriend are always trying to like bring me back to that like neutral place of like, but you also have to come from a place of compassion, because an eye for an eye makes the world blind, and I get that. But sometimes it's just like, fuck. What can we do? What can we do? Yes, we're signing petitions. Yes, we're donating to good causes. Yes, we're trying our best to use our privilege to stand up for those who are oppressed and suppressed. And yeah, we need to elect and vote in candidates and politicians who are actually going to make a difference. But at the same time, like, who is that? I know they're out there, like Alexandra I always say her name wrong, but I know that she's awesome, and I know that we all love Bernie Sanders, and like, where the fuck did he go? But right now it's kind of like choosing between a celebrity pedophile rapist old man, or we have the creepy the creepy old man. And either one, I know, like, we're not getting a fucking winner out of this. Like, I'm very fucking aware of that. But also, we know who is the more evil one, right? Like, we know that. And then there's Kanye, who's, like, stepping into the mix. And who knows if that's even real? Because I know he, like, said that he's doing it, but I don't know if he's actually, like, taking the actual steps towards doing it. But, we all thought it was funny. And what was that, like, 2016 not we, because I didn't do that, but when a lot of people, especially my age, voted in Harambe, because, like, poor soul, I get it, but, like, let's not make a joke with our politics. But, like, let's not do that. Let's not vote Kanye in as a joke. To anybody who was thinking about doing that, do not vote as a joke. And also, if you do not vote, that also is kind of like a vote for Trump. So please, everyone, make sure that you are registered to vote. Because that's the only way that I know how we can try to make a big change. But other than that, it's like, we got pedophiles and the elites and the powerful. They're everywhere. Everyone used to think that us conspiracy theorists were fucking insane for saying, yeah, there's an island that the elites and the powerful and, like, big time celebrities go to. And they do terrible, terrible things. And everyone's like, yeah, you're fucking insane. And now shit's kind of coming out of the water. So let's just keep our eyes, our ears, and our hearts open. And I'm trying to do my best, but again, I just get so fucking angry. But I need to be more like Batman, because Batman's not angry when he fights, Like, if we need a vigilante, he's not out there, like, yelling up a storm. He's calm, cool, and collected. So let's all, if you're feeling like me, let's all take a deep breath together. And we got to be a little bit more calm, cool, and collected. But again, I'm still on that journey, and when I find some tips and tricks for it, I will let you know. But this has been enough of me and my bullshit rambling for today. We had some heaviness, we had some lightness, and we had everything in between. Whatever the fuck that means. But I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. I'm doing my best. I'm going to keep trying to do my best. Feedback is always welcome. You can find me on Instagram at coffeebreathpod, and I will see you in the next one. Stay cool, guys. Peace.